What if the boy everyone pitied returned as the man who could break legends? This is part 11 and everything is about to change. The headmaster had heard all the stories about him, the ruined house, the bleeding child, and the dark rumors that followed him for years. Jack looked around the office slowly. It had been many years since he had last stood here. The name of the headmaster was Ramal Enhart Asenblay. Once he was the powerful Duke of House Asenblay. Now his son ruled the house, and Ramal had become the headmaster of the academy. Jack remembered his first day here. His body was covered in wounds. His heart was full of fear. Ramal had told him, "Your family is dangerous. I believe your father or even your brother may try to kill you before you become an adult." Jack had asked, "What should I do?" Ramal placed a hand on his head and said, "That is something you can find the answer to." Jack was given a small room and some special privileges, but today he was not that frightened child anymore. He looked straight at the headmaster and said, "I want to make a deal with you." Ramal was surprised. The boy standing before him was completely different. Jack continued, "I already saved you once. Now I need a favor." Ramal could feel it. In just 1 month, Jack had changed beyond recognition. But for Jack, 20 years had passed in his memories. They say in 20 years, 2 eras can change, enough to change a person's destiny. Ramal asked, "How will you save my life?" In Jack's memories, the Thulan Empire destroyed the Thisan kingdom in just 1 month. Thisan fought very bravely, but they had only 2 masters and barely 10 high-level mana users. Thulan had 30 masters, and most of them had become dragon hybrids, and over 1,000 warriors above the 7th circle. Defeat, it was inevitable. Yet the kingdom survived for 1 month because the headmaster had risked his life. He had formed a magic corps of 700 soldiers and launched a sudden attack at the front. If not for one thing, they could have survived 2 more months. But betrayal. He was killed by the one he trusted the most, Brutus. Ramal froze when he heard that name. He warned him, "Do not call the instructor by his name." But Jack didn't care. He said coldly, "He's a spy for the Thulan Empire. Brutus Marco, 6th Circle Knight, assistant swordsman instructor, loyal to the house Assembly." They were all lies. Ramal shook his head, and he said, "Do not act on rumors." Jack stepped closer. "If you do not listen to me, you will regret it." Ramal ordered him to leave, but Jack placed a crest on the table. "I stand by my word," he said. "Something is about to happen." Then he added, "Call Brutus here." Moments later, Brutus entered the office. Jack didn't waste time. "Stop sending information to Thulan Empire," he just shouted. Brutus was stunned, and he said, "What nonsense are you speaking?" He recognized Jack, the injured noble boy from before. He thought Jack had lost his mind. Brutus sneered, "The headmaster may forgive you, but I won't." That was enough. Jack moved. In a flash, his fist struck Brutus' face. Not just a spy, but a liar. Brutus crashed into the furniture. Before he could react, Jack attacked again. Brutus tried to fight back, but his attacks were just like a child's play. Jack dodged easily and drove a powerful punch into Brutus's stomach. Brutus fell. Ramal watched in shock. Jack walked closer, and he said calmly, "Admit it yourself. Confess it that you did it." Brutus stayed silent. Jack placed his hand on Brutus' chest. He felt 6 mana circles, each one built over years for effort. Jack's eyes turned cold, and he spitted, "For every lie, I will break 1 circle." Brutus trembled, and Jack again asked, "Are you a spy for Thulan Empire?" Brutus replied, "No." A scream echoed. 1 mana circle shattered. Now Brutus was a 5th circle user. Jack asked again. This time Brutus said nothing. Jack injected his own mana into Brutus's heart. Now his circle could never be rebuilt. "You'll never create another circle again." Then he smiled. "There is one way, the Thulan Dragon part infusion." Brutus's eyes widened. "How do you know that secret?" Jack knew he had won. Fear filled Brutus' face. Before Brutus could say anything, Jack destroyed the remaining circles. Brutus was finished. All his power was gone. Jack returned to the headmaster and said, I told you that he's a spy. Brutus was still on the ground. He was muttering in pain. Thulan won't let you live. The Thulan Empire will destroy everything you have, Jack. Everything. Jack kicked him, shutting him up. The second phase was complete. Jack apologized to Rommel for the mess in the office. Rommel was still shocked by Jack's change. Jack simply said, a lot has changed in the last month. Rommel didn't ask more questions, but one thing bothered him. How did you know all this? The spy's identity and the dragon human experiments? Jack said calmly, but you have to remember our deal first. Jack knew the truth. In the Thulan Empire, war was already coming. There was a power struggle. On one side, the moderate party led by the second prince, and on the other hand, the hardline party led by the crown prince. In the end, the hardline party won, and Thulan united the entire continent. Jack spoke again. I spent 10 years in the mountains with my master. I don't know every detail. He handed Brutus over to Rommel. If you want, extract more information from him. It will help you and the king. Rommel looked at him carefully. King Jack, should I call you by your real name now? Jack smiled faintly and more curious. How did a six-circle knight know so much? At this time, the half-dragon experiment had already been tested on animals and soon it would be used on humans. Jack knew all this from his past life. In Thulan, this secret was protected like an Area 51. But Jack didn't ask just for one favor, he wanted two. The headmaster was rich. After all, his first demand, a private villa near the academy with a garden. Rommel frowned. Don't you know the rules? Every student must live in the dormitory. Jack smiled. There are exceptions to every rule, and you taught me this. Then came the second request. Admit a girl to the academy in first year. But this semester was already the second. Admissions had only happened in the first semester. Still, Jack knew Rommel could make it happen. Rommel guessed. The pale girl outside? Is that her? Yes, her name was Charlotte. Rommel asked, what is she to you? Jack hesitated. I'm her benefactor. Rommel sighed. Okay, brother. Jack didn't understand why. Later Jake came out. Charlotte jumped with joy. Will this be my new school? Jack placed a hand on her head. Yes, this will be your new school. Charlotte was happy, but suddenly her face fell. And Jack noticed this. He asked, why are you sad, Charlotte? She whispered, I never thought I would enter this academy. This place is only for humans and I'm not a human. Jack looked at her. Are you ashamed of being a vampire? She shook her head, but pain filled her eyes. Jack remembered. His own family was once a royal vampire house. Now, almost all were gone. His father, his mother Vivian, all were gone. Jack held Charlotte's hand. No matter what happens, Charlotte, you should be proud. You are Charlotte du Royal, and I will keep my promise. Whether you want to be a queen or rebuild your clan, I will always stand with you. Charlotte was nervous but thankful. Her mother once said, nothing in this world is free. Charlotte asked him softly, what can I do for you? Jack said in a very soft way, Charlotte, when the time comes, I'll ask it myself. Charlotte replied, I promise I'll help you whenever you need. Everything seemed peaceful now. Jack suggested, let's take a walk. The manor will take time to prepare. Rommel had told him earlier Charlotte's admission would be done soon. The villa would be ready in 2 hours, but managing such a large place alone was impossible. Rommel offered, I'll send some servants. Jack knew it was also a way to watch him, but he agreed. As they walked, Valentine was smiling. Jack wondered why, but Valentine said, what you told Charlotte was beautiful. I thought you were just a pervert, but now I see you understand recognition. Jack smirked. I'll take that as a compliment. A little distance away, a boy was training with all his strength. Jack thought, what does he have to do with me? But Valentine pulled his ear. Come, let's watch him. They sat down. The boy was about 17. He had strong body and determined eyes. Jack checked his mana and he was literally shocked because the boy only had second circle power. At best, he could reach 4th circle. Jack was disappointed. He called it an average talent. He wasn't worried Valentine would choose him as a disciple, but she asked, then why am I interested in him? Jack guessed, maybe because of his physique? Valentine said, no, that's wrong. Charlotte had noticed he's pushing himself too hard. He looks like he might collapse. His body is full of bruises. Jack looked again, and Valentine asked, "Now, do you understand?" Jack focused harder, and now he saw it. The boy's mana circle had once been broken, but somehow he rebuilt it, and that was something even Jack had never seen before.